Hello, friends. I'm outside because, well, in my opinion, this is a beautiful day. And I figured if I'm going to have any part with my face in this video, it should be with a very pleasant background. So, today we're going to do another drawing video. I kind of enjoy doing these. I did want to make a little message to begin with about my comic reviews because I have been getting a little bit of engagement from people about those. To be a little more personal than I really need to be. The main reason I stepped away from doing those at the moment was I was just having trouble finding time to do it. I'm a single father of a disabled child, and I don't get a lot of time away from him, and making those videos was eating up a lot of time. My son's also very young. He's not even in school yet, so there's going to be a time in the future where I'm sure I'm going to have way more than enough time on my hands, and I still have all the comics under my bed. So, if I'm able to, I will go back and revisit some of those series. But today, let's do a little doodling. Something I'd like to share with you. This is a cup I keep the pins I'm using in. Obviously, we see what side I stand with in the war. For those that don't get the reference, don't worry, it's anime related. But it's not Pokemon. So, welcome back. So I watched the last video I made on this, and I noticed my head was poking in and out of the frame a lot, and it was stealing the focus. So I'm going to try to come from more over here this time. Might want to fix my light a bit too, so it's more centered around and I don't cast as much shadow on it. I had some free time, so I thought I would work on some of my art and share one of the more relaxing, calm parts of my day with you while I have it. It's kind of a personal experience for me. Now, some of you returning to the channel may notice I have changed the name of the channel and to my Pokemon trainer tag, and I've also put a temporary profile picture until we finish the logo, which we'll be working on later today. But first, we're going to start out with Sarah's piece, cleaning up some of these marks, and maybe deciding a background. I haven't picked a background yet. But yes, I changed it because, well, the channel's main focus right now is myself, my art, and the charity work that I am trying to do. Now, as a recording of this video, the current piece I have up is The Gift, and it is listed on Etsy. I mean, not Etsy, it is listed on eBay, and I will put the link in the description of this video if you would like to participate in that one. And again, that one will be going to Valley Children's Hospital. I am rather small at the moment, so my plan is to just keep re-uploading it until it eventually sells, and then moving on to the next charity. Now, Valley Children's Hospital necessarily isn't a charity itself. It is a hospital, but like all hospitals, they take donations. So if there's any building like that that's important to you, you should always check, because you'll be surprised. My local town has some Buddhist monks. I believe they are Lao Buddhist, and they really enjoy any donations you'll give them. A lot of monks, not so much in America, but they very much live off the generosity of their community. So this is my least favorite part, is erasing. And I use very thick. I use the thickest, listen to that, it sounds like a thunderstorm, watercolor paper there is, with a fine pulp, so it doesn't look grainy. Like, I have some older ones, like the book I did for my mother, where the art was good, but I didn't have the best paper, and it shows. But when you have thinner paper and you're doing this, you see how I'm spreading my hand out? Like if this was normal paper, you're going to want to do this and erase like this. Because if you just do like this, I'm sure some of you've had where the paper goes and it folds over, your paper's accordioned. You can put it under a book or something and try to flatten it out, but once paper's creased, you're never going to fully get rid of it. While it adds to the story of the piece, it takes away from the story you intended to tell. So, as far as stories we intend to tell, what's the story we got going on here again? So we have this little Charmander, which is being attacked by the Onyx. He's going back to try to get his trainer's backpack. And, the Onyx attacked him with the Rock Tomb. I don't know if it's Rock Tomb or Rock Tom. That's the thing. I'm not the best reader. I'm sure anyone that's seen any of my other videos knows that. But, I always said Rock Tom, and I realized as an adult it's probably Rock Tomb. That makes more sense. My first Pokemon, Totodile, I tried to name Jack after Samurai Jack. And I let my cousin see my Pokemon profile, and he's like, why is it Jake? I'm like, it's not Jake, it's Jack. And he's like, no, that's Jake. You don't even know how to spell Jack, you dumbass. And keep in mind, I was like probably 10 at the time. And the worst part is I capitalized it. And the reason I capitalized it is because in Crystal, I remember all the other Pokemon's names being capitalized. So he's like, it's not even Jake, it's Jake. And he would make fun of me for years. He'd be like, go Jake. And, the thing is, I intended for my first Pokemon to be named Jack, but I still spell it the same, and I call him Jake now. So I just accepted it that my first Pokemon is named Jake. Doesn't seem to bother him. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm rambling a bit. So, again, brush. Looks great. Now I got a vacuum. I'm sure all your stations are surrounded by stuff too. So I imagine this could be in a few places. It could be like on a route, or it could be like in a cave. I know Onyx is more prone to spawn in caves because, he burrows. This necessarily doesn't have to be a wild Onyx though. I also thought of putting them in a high school, like have lockers behind them and stuff. But that seems so symmetrical and boring. And I really should put like a hall monitor sash on Machamp for that, and it's too late for that. But, I do not like that line there. So remember I said about the margins, you can test your pen. So I have this blotchy way, so I'm going to try to run through it. There, clean that up a little bit. So this is about as good as I'm going to get it. There are some places I don't like. And what I do is when I paint, I'm going to keep my eraser by me and just keep touching it up. Sometimes you have to erase your paint anyways, which is a good thing you can do with watercolor after it dries, of course. Otherwise you ruin your paper. I don't really feel like painting today because painting is a different energy for me. But we're going to work on our background. Now, I think the cave is a good setting again, but I kind of wanted there to be the lighting of the sun right here. I'm not sure how I would do it, but I would like to make it look like... I would like this part of the picture to be super bright, and this to be darker, and then Charmander to kind of be creating his own light, if that makes sense. So, like, I want the lighting, kind of like the lighting is now, coming from here, and then Charmander's going to kind of have his own glow in this darker area. He might not even look orange, really. I could make him like a purple. Like his original shiny. I don't know. So the first thing you gotta do is you have to find your horizon. I know a lot of times when you're doing like if I was doing a landscape, they would have you do that first. And I did to an extent, but it got erased over several times. But I remember, and for me, the horizon was about here. Question is just really, what do I want behind them? And, there's not really much. The thing is, like, do I really want to ink that? Maybe I should just do colors, you know? Oh, I have an idea. I could put some rocks right here. Maybe I could kind of like, I could get some rocks right there. Some more rock like this. Like Brock, my Pokemon are rock hard. For battle, right? For battle, right? Yeah, I'll do that. I can do like a rock V, like a Vegeta. And then... See, that's the thing. The Pokemon take up so much action. I don't want too much in the background, really. Should probably put like a rock here. Then it gets that sense of 3D. And I guess I could put some behind the Onyx, because it's not just going to stop there. There we go. And I'm still going to make these lines, so I kind of know. Okay, that's good. And for the background, no, I really don't know, fam. Maybe I should just kind of make some hills or some more rocks that are bigger, like a cliffy side. And I could do something like that. Then I can hide for the light effect I want. From there, yeah, I'll do, that's what I'll do. I'll try to do like a steep cliff as much as I can. Again, a lot of this is going to be obstructed by our action, by our Pokemon. But that's the thing. It'll seem organic if I pull it off correctly. So, there we go. So I'm going to do a little bit of me here on this Pokemon. And the thing is, I'm making soft lines now, because natural lines are not perfect. I'd have it come off a bit there. Yeah, I think that'll work. And don't need a rock there. That's a little too... We got all our action right there, right? And if I just had something coming up here, it'd just be like, oh, he's got an extra arm. No. We're going to leave that open for our sky shot. So there we go. We have our Charmander down in a little canyon type area. Maybe it's the part leading into the cave. Who knows? I'm sorry for the beeping. My neighbor is, if you can hear that, my neighbor likes to do that. He has a bobcat, and unlike everyone else in the neighborhood, he does not disable the beeper. I guess so his cows feel safe. Me and him have a bit of a friendly back and forth going. I don't like some things he does. I don't like some of the things he does. We have a mutual respect for each other and leave each other alone. I wish more of the world could be like that, honestly. Because I don't really wish any harm upon someone just because they upset me. I do hope these lines turn out really freaking good. Some of that so it looks a little more detailed because it's up close. And here, do like the stromatolites. Oh, see, I almost went in. Force of habit, folks. And again, see, that's why I'm not making that line as good, because I have my margin. And again, a lot of this is going to get cut out by the margin, but I like my art to be bigger than the margins, because I feel like it makes it more alive. It makes it pop. And I'll probably frame this one on camera with you, just so I could show people how I frame them at least once. I don't think too many people are going to care about framing of a picture, really. I don't know. Maybe you do. I mean, frames themselves can be a work of art sometimes. Now this one, of course, I am considering doing maybe like a different... maybe cutting it a bit different so the Onyx can have his full glory, like he's coming out of the frame. I don't know if I have the ability to do that, but I do have like 500 sheets of black paper, so I'm willing to at least try. I think the person I'm making this for would really appreciate it. Although I think she's already going to love it. The thing about art, it's very personal. It's hard not to have strong emotions tied to it. Oh, it's getting a little warm in here. That's why I like to dress in layers. I always joke that there's two kinds of weather. Shirt weather and not shirt weather. And I don't feel like I have to explain that joke for you to understand it. It's also really not a joke. See, I kind of like this because it's making the onyx look a little muddier right now, but he's going to have different colorations a bit in the background. Might make him seem a little more menacing as well. I think I might want to do just a little like through there. Maybe we should have like a few loose pebbles here and there, huh? There we go. What would that guy Bob Ross always say? Happy little tree? Well, what I got is some happy little pebbles. And he's like, no one peed on me today. I bet when they meet that hiker with the self-destructing freaking gravelers, you know, they probably get a little pee on them. For, honestly, anyone that's been in a cave, you know the majority of the floor, like a lake, is just different animals' waste. Guano. What a great episode of King of the Hill that was. I'll tell you what. Go, Butterfree! See, now I have an interesting area right here. I almost messed up. Let me get these lines in here and I'll show you what I almost did. So, I'll get the eraser. So here, the outline I did for the rock, I drew right through my onyx. And I didn't realize this was a section of the onyx right there. I almost put a line right through the onyx. That would have been bad. So I'm going to erase my in the onyx or my in the Pokemon guidelines. See, and I think this looks kind of muddy right now, but when we do a painting of it, I can't promise the consistency of these videos because drawing and painting is very much based on my mood. And I'm already having to wait till I have quieter moments just to do these. But then again, I'm hoping in the future I will have a bit more free time. You know, my son, he's about 5 right now, and as he's getting so independent. Very proud of him. Watching him grow and change is truly more magical than any Pokemon I've ever raised by far. I'm not going to be one of those people. My first shiny right up there with the birth of my second child. What are you looking at me like that for? I said second. Oh. Yeah, seriously though, no matter who you are out there, you are loved. And your life is worth living. You know, it's like you said, the sheer fact you're here right now, hearing me say this, I think that's beautiful. You know, might just be my primate brain trying to make order out of the chaos, but I do believe there is a reason for everything. More or less. So I'm just going to try to make some little... I don't know if you've ever been to the top of a really big cliff, but they're not perfectly flat, grassy little structures. So I'll put, what was it? Happy little pebbles. Fruity pebbles. I like that. And I have the sky opening. I really can't erase it right now because... I don't want to risk smearing the ink. So we will save the final erase job for for when I go to paint this, which will be coming up here soon. I'm at least going to finish this painting on camera for you guys. I think everyone will enjoy that. I mean, I enjoy it. One of my favorite parts is the layers. Now, one technique I want to talk about, well, it's not really a technique, but something I intentionally did, is the onyx. You might, I said in the previous one, his boulders remind me of D&D dice. And you might notice I tried to make the rocks in the background similar to him, but I also tried to make them a bit different. So he stands out a lot to me. Definitely going to be a very complex one to draw. I mean, to paint. And for me, I know a lot of people, they do it different ways. Some people do the background. I start much like I did this with the main outer layer, and I work back. So we'll be painting Charmander, some of his stuff, then the Machamp, then the Onyx, and then the background around them. Of course, taking lighting into consideration the whole time. But that's pretty much all the energy I have for this one today. It looks like our video has been going a little over 20 minutes. Although it might change as I edit this down, but I do want to do the other one for you a bit. Now, of course, I need reference material. So, for my Pikachu reference, I have a Pikachu. I also have a Raichu, because I decided maybe I should add a Raichu behind the Pikachu. That'd be kind of dope. Like right there with the Magikarp. No. I could just have a carp painted on the wall. Oh, I can make a carp the eye. Yes. Or the A. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But definitely, we want a big boy in the back. We want more meat. So Pikachu and Raichu. And since I'm recording on my cell phone, I will be borrowing the old cell phone I got from my grandmother that I put my son's games on for him to play for my other materials. Well, I guess Drowsy. I have this for Psyduck. But wait, there's something odd about it. Just put him over in Shaw. And I'll try to get these guys out as I use them and put them more on camera. Some people, they need their references to be in the position. I can more or less stretch them out. Donald Trump versus Owen Wilson as Steve McQueen. Who you backing? I think Ricky Bobby. I know he wasn't even a available option, but you should know already, if you ain't first, you're last. Okay, so. Oh, I get it. Pokey-Ditas. Then maybe we could have like a wave effect on the bricks. And then I'll have to do less bricks. I hate bricks. I love that. And then we'll have the fish. As part of the effect of the wave. Yes. And that's all, literally all I need to remember there's fish there. I mean, I'll have a video to go back to. So. That'll kind of show, too, that Magikarp is part of the signature I use for these as well. So let's try to get Pikachu's tail out again. I've always hated drawing Pikachu's tail because, I mean, just look at it. When I was a kid, that was like the hardest part. I mean, still now, that's, what's wrong with your Pikachu, bro? Pikachu! What the happened to your tail? Pika-pee. No, I've been rewatching the cartoon with my son, and it amazes me just how quickly Pikachu goes from just completely like fuck Ash to just like I will literally kill for you. There we go. I like this big chunky Raichu. You know what I think the problem is that the Pikachu, as much as I love him, he needs to be more center. And the Raichu needs to be here so the words can be behind them. So I'm actually going to erase everything I have so far. These are always frustrating moments, but it's like I say, and if this happens to any of your artwork, if you drew it once, you can draw it again. No, I don't mean like suck it up, get over it. Of course, you get emotionally invested in your artwork, but don't underestimate your own skills, I guess is more what I'm trying to get to here. So here, okay, have the little Pikachu. Give him that cool hat. How do you make a Pikachu squat? I have no freaking clue, but I'm trying. Am I a Slav? No, but you know who is? God. And some of you are very confused by that statement, and some of you get the song reference. And if you haven't heard the glory that is Serbian war music, this is your sign from the universe to go check it out. So, Poki D Das. And then we can put a fish right here. I have Raichu. How much taller is Raichu than a Pikachu, realistically? I mean, according to these figures, this looks pretty accurate to the battle I've seen with Surge. Also, Raichu, his eyes look a little, I mean, I really shouldn't say anything. So I'm going to put my Raichu's head right about here. I always loved Raichu's color. I don't know if you ever seen them drawn together, but there's a moment where Ling Ling dies, which is also the name of my Pikachu, and he's like, damn, that Ling Ling would make a sweet seat cover. And you know, Raichu, him or Raikou, especially the shiny Raikou, I mean, like, oh my god. I think Raikou was the first legendary I caught. Which is funny, I won Entei at the time, but now as an adult, I like Raikou more. I'm going to give him little glasses too, little round glasses, I guess. I don't know, I haven't defined his look yet, but I just want him to look tough. So I'll give him some ears for now. Just some filler. There we go, like that. We don't want the curl up, we want him to look flat. Yeah, I like this version. So I'll put the Raichu also in, I guess, like a nice tracksuit. And then I will give him... I've been conflicted as to whether or not to give any of them shoes. I still think Pikachu needs to come a little ways over, though. So why don't we start with our Pikachu? Now that we got everything more or less spaced out, let's like really get down to it and erase this Pikachu one more time. And yeah, that's really how my brain works. I now have that song playing in my head that I don't think I could go on to talk about anymore because I don't want to get copyright struck. Copy striked. You know, I used a clip from The Exorcist one time, and that got copyright struck like right before the video even went up, and I was like, God dang. There we go. Oh man, Pikachu's legs are like... I'll try to get a little more animatomical. I'm failing at English right now. Little Pika feet. Looks like a kangaroo now. Oh, crikey, I'm gonna have a little Joey. Why'd I draw that? Okay. Now, I want to talk about erasers a bit. You always want white erasers because the pink ones... Oh, great, I lost my cap. No cap. Anyways, the pink ones will smudge your paper. They're not as good. So, I'm just going to more or less draw out my Pikachu's face. There we go. Give him his cheeks. I don't know if I'm going to ink the cheeks yet, because they're not really outlined ever on Pikachu. I might leave those and color them in with just the red. But I am going to go, and I'm going to outline these glasses now. Because... yeah. Now we'll get that brim of that hat that doesn't exist yet. There we go. Oh, that looks so sick. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, so we'll just bring it back. And then we'll have his ears kind of like tucked out the back there like that. Yeah, bro, yeah. I choose that. Put a little shadowing in just for the moment so it works for me. Now, the way I look at it, I have two choices right now. Because I can kind of see Pikachu's eyes under the glasses. So I could leave them out. I could leave them a little bit. Or I could fog them over completely. And just kind of scratch where they are. And it makes him look more serious and like... he does not give a fuck. I think I'm going to go with that. And I'm also going to widen this brim a little bit. I'm going to get in there and try to clean it up. Just to make it... oh, there we go, bro. Why don't we do that, and then we'll bring this one down a little more so they line up. There, and that will be black. The Poke is back. Count all my money. Count all my money. Here we go. I may or may not have been quoting Blorg. Or Glorb. I don't remember which channel we upload that on, but yeah. See, I like that kind of rap where it's like SpongeBob and whatnot, because I understand that the person who made that understands it's fantasy. I don't understand that your SoundCloud rapper knows what they're saying is fantasy, and if they don't know what they're saying is fantasy, they need help. Then again, maybe I'm not the best judge of what is and isn't real. But I'm not really trying to tell anyone else how to do them, as long as they're not hurting anyone else. I think that's what we all want. What is it? To me, that's mutual respect. Okay, so we're going to give them a little, just a little tiny waistband. And these lines are really more, because I'm not going to ink it like that. I'd at least like to get the Pikachu inked for you before I have to stop today, because I do only have so much time to work on these. And the thing is, I need to time my artwork more for when people pay me to do stuff for them, so this will help me, you know, someone pays me to do work in the future. And I figure if I have to cut something out, well, I cut it out, I wasn't working on the picture, right? The hand looks really bad, but it's a placeholder hand. It's a little hand holding going on here. There we go. Yeah, like that. There we go. The stripes. And I'm going to shade this in, just so when I ink it, it's easier for me to understand. There, I can do that and just extend those lines, really. That's how I'm going to do that. There, looks hunched. But I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be hunched. So, success. There we go. That looks pretty good. Give me a little more attention to the hat real quick, because that's almost done. There we go. Oh, this is looking sick, bro. Definitely think I'm going to be able to get this Pikachu done at least. Now, I'm sorry if the pencils aren't showing up as good on paper, but I really want to be light with it. Because, no, it's easier to erase. You've already seen how many times I've erased stuff right now, and, again, like I said, never be afraid because you can redraw something. Never be afraid to erase and go back. Every time you do something, I personally feel it's just going to get better. And if you feel like it's not in the moment, it's probably more a sign of your frustration and just to walk away. I have pictures I literally waited years between finishing. You know, one very famous picture, the Mona Lisa, actually, like, it's not finished. Dude had it his entire life working on it, like over 7 years. Well, it was towards the end of his life, but, you know, my point is, never be afraid of your previous mistakes, I guess. I know I wouldn't get very far in life if I lived in fear of those myself. There we go. My Pikachu needs a pedicure. Toes look a little weird, but fix them up. Make them more pointed here. Pikachu's toes, they're separated, but they're also pointed. He's gonna be about right if I just add the tail. That one would seem like he's snuffing the Raichu, but... Personally, I'm not going to go off this figure's tail, because I think this figure's tail is a little bit... not what I'm wanting. I can go with that. I think this goes here. This is going to go more like this. And this is going to go like this. And this is going to come down like this. I really don't like how they did the male and female Pikachus. I kind of just imagine that the people who want the female Pikachu, like they've been docking their tails to look like that. I think that'll work. So I'll put his brown right about there. I don't get that Mandela effect of people who think it's on the end. Although I did paint one like that one time when I was a little kid before we had reference material for Pokemon as one of those like ink your picture things. Then again, I'm one of the people who thinks Fruit of the Loom had the cornucopia. And I'm even one of the people who learned about the cornucopia from having that explained to me. There's another company by my house that had a similar logo, a farm, but I thought that farm was the Fruit of the Loom one, so it's weird to me so many people would have the same delusion. Okay, I really like this Pikachu. So we're going to try to ink him in so he can be there while we get our other friends in the future. I'm glad I could at least do the Pikachu for you today. I'm a little over on the hat, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to disguise that. See, I started on it, and I started going through it to get around it. Sometimes I don't go exactly with my guidelines. They're like suggestions. I saw where they worked and they didn't, and I just kind of go with it more. Now, personally, I wear an ivy cap, but I'm trying to make Pikachus look kind of like the ones the early Team Rocket members wear. He is no longer Pikachu. He has become Drip Chew. His drip is too powerful for any power scaling. Yes, even the mighty Quasma cannot keep up with his fearsome drip. Okay. I'm going to try to... I redid that one, but I want to redo this one a bit because I'm not liking the shape too much. I think... There. That looks just dirty as heck at the moment. My neighbor's dog is okay. It makes that sound all the time. I think it gets stuck in the fence or something. That's just how it barks. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to ink those cheeks. Started coming in a little more than I wanted there, and I kept with it, and I think I saved it. My son got a notification. That's why I brought his phone over here. I didn't end up using it because I didn't get as far. That's the thing. I'll say this was easy. It didn't take very long. In my mind, it was like 20 minutes, but I spent like 2.5 hours actually. Once I started timing things, realizing how long it was actually taking me. But, you know, you enjoy what you do type thing. Kind of hard to get the collar effect with his face, but I think I pulled it off. Just realized I gave him an undershirt, though, unintentionally, so I'll make sure to leave that white. There we go, that looks good. I think some of you haven't been able to see the details too well to right about now. Oh, that was stressful. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little stressful. Very tight area there. That's what she said. And there, ladies and gentlemen, I can't hide it from you anymore. I have been lying to you this whole time. I am not Ricky. I'm not the Watcher. I'm not anybody. I'm Michael Scott. Fooled you again. I was going to Bazinga, but I was like, oh wait, that was Big Bang Theory. You know what I love personally about Big Bang Theory? And it wasn't even what the show, it was my grandmother. Because she hated Chuck Lorre. because he's a dirty birdie and he wrote dirty birdie things like 2.5 Men, especially having that little boy, all cute little Jake, saying the fuck and making the sex jokes about the pussy. Oh, that wasn't appropriate, but she loved Big Bang Theory. And the thing is, Big Bang Theory was the exact same type of programming. She just didn't know what they were saying, so it was like okay to her. She just heard like Klingon, blah 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 blah, Olvik system, and it's like they're talking about fucking ovaries or something. You know, my grandma, she didn't even know what her own parts were called all the time. So different times. You know, what was that book they gave Peggy as a girl? The Loveliness of Woman. I always found that funny though. And you know, it's really a lesson, if anything, in perspective. Is you can be happy if you don't know what's going on, but if something disgusts you, do you really want to feel complacent with it just because you don't understand it's happening in front of you? I just widen these and I can fatten them up and make them look a little smoother than they turned out to be, because I can choose which side I want to fatten it on. Yes, the drip. Pikachu, I drip you. Bump, 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 bump. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not know, but they do, in my private time, indeed call me the faucet. And they call me the faucet because all I do is drip, ladies and gentlemen. It's an old joke. I've been saying it for a while. I'll tell you, the ladies, they do not love it. I think it's funny. I think that looks good. I think I can just kind of infer the rest with it's gonna be a black tracksuit, so it's all gonna blend a bit better by the end. Honestly, it looks kind of cool now. Probably spent more time doing those stripes than anything else, right? So let's get his back done now. He looks a little hunched over, but anyone who's seen me in when I'm not putting on for the show, I usually wear oversized clothing, and it's 100% a comfort thing. Like for me, I have house clothes and away clothes. The clothes I wear in my house are different than what I wear in public. Partially because it's cleaner. There was this one time I was went to a party when I was younger, and I was about to go to bed. I had just laid down for bed, and I was wearing Adidas sweatpants and a size 4 white shirt, 4X, that is. And I was not a size 4X, so it was very baggy on me. I looked like a ghost. And I believe I grabbed a beanie and a jacket because my friends called me right before I was going to sleep. Yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'm not changing. Just felt really lazy in that moment. I'm like, I'll just change when I come home anyways. And I was also going to be out all night. Well, I met some people that night. And the next time I met the same people, I was dressed like Hank Hill with sunglasses on. And they did not recognize me. And they were very weirded out. I knew their name and so much information about them. And then when they found out who I was, they're like, oh, I thought you were a gangbanger. Why do you think I was a gangbanger? Well, because they kept calling you like Youngblood. And I'm like, that's my name. That's on my birth certificate. And then they're like, well, it's how you were dressed. I'm like, I was in my pajamas, bro. And then I used it because he was quite younger than me. I'm like, doesn't that show you kind of how much you assume about someone just by how they're dressed? That guy, though, he was very, I'll say he looked more straight-laced, but once he, like many people where I live, as soon as they turned 18, they moved to the city, which here is LA or San Francisco, and when they came back, you know, they were just a firecracker, and, part of it makes me feel bad and feel good, because I feel good that they feel comfortable enough they can express themselves in a way they didn't before, but then it also makes me feel bad because I imagine how they must have felt up to being able to be more comfortable with who they are. I really do ramble when I do these, don't I? I think that's part of the appeal. I know a lot of people, they just want something on in the background. They want to talk. They want to hear. I have the benefit of, if I think anything's horrible, I can just cut it out. Then again, if I don't realize something sounds as bad as what I've said, it kind of makes me sound worse when people go and they're like, you left that in? Maybe I should give them a little tag. Yeah, no, the tag came off mine. Washer accident. The tag itself didn't break too. It was like the part on the zipper, like the teeth that hold it, so I'd have to completely remove and redo that part, and I'm like, I'll just pinch it. So look, we got our little drip chew all outlined. Unfortunately though, I don't have too much more time to draw today, so I'm going to have to call the video here. It does look like it ended up being quite the long video though, so I hope you enjoyed today. Now let's get some pictures of what we did today. Maybe drip chew will become a thing. That'd be awesome. That's what I'm calling this version of Pikachu. This is drip chew. You cannot deny his drip. Well, anyways, ladies, gentlemen, however else you identify out there, I hope this has been a good video for you. It has for me, and much like Drip Chew himself, whatever you do, I hope you can do it as your genuine, unabashed self. And till next time, stay safe, and I do hope to see you again.